So I just came back from a trip to Egypt. I was in Egypt for about 2 nights, and it was pretty great. It was interesting. It was cool to see, this destination that's most popular, one of the most popular symbols in tourism right now. What I saw on the ground was that it was pretty busy. I visited the Great Pyramids of Giza, and I saw the Sphinx, and I saw the Grand Egyptian Museum, and all three of those were very busy. Uh, there were a lot of tourists from all over the world, but the one tourist segment that was missing was the American market. From what I heard from my tour guide and what I saw, you go through the area of the Giza, where some of the pyramids are the famous one, the Great Pyramid of Giza. You see tourists from all over the world. You see British, Japanese, French, Russian. Those groups have, from what I've heard, have not stopped traveling. But the American market is missing. It is down, and it's because of the ongoing war between Hamas and Israel. And Americans are afraid to go to the area. They assume the war is that it's going to spread to Egypt. So a lot of Americans have canceled and have not come by. And it's an important market because you ask a lot of the tour guides, the tourism industry, they like Americans, particularly because Americans not only are the high spenders, but they tip very well and they're very gentle and nice. So they are very welcomed and wanted. And the U.S. currency is very powerful. I will tell you that. When I got in my Uber ride from the airport to my my accommodations, the Uber driver was insistent on trading my U.S. dollars for her Egyptian pounds. She offered to trade about 100, I think, USD for 3,000 uh, um, Egyptian pounds in her car. She was very pushy about it too, which a little bit just like a little bit off-putting. But the big thing is, she told me, "You are a king with U.S. dollars because U.S. dollars are so strong compared to the Egyptian pound." I mean, believe me, if you pay anyone with a dollar in Egyptian money in USD, they will love you. It is so important to. It is so valuable. So the American market is not fully back, and that is a problem. But I mean, Egyptians still posting strong tourism numbers. They still had a strong year last year despite the war. But the big thing is the Americans are missing, and they want that back. One thing that surprised me is the Japanese market really loves Egypt. They love Egypt. I did not expect that, but there's a big intertwinement. Like even the Japanese government is investing a lot of money in Egypt's new Grand Egyptian Museum, which is their new museum they're opening up on the pharaoh history. It's the largest museum of history of pharaohs ever, and Egypt has spent about $500 million on it, and they've gotten a lot of support financially from the Japanese government, and it's part because Japanese love Egyptian history, ancient Egyptian history. They have a fascination with it. And it makes sense. Growing up as a kid, if you watch that popular TV show Yu-Gi-Oh, which was super big in Japan and big in the U.S., the show is essentially just about an ancient pharaoh who lives in the modern day who's using these dual cards, and they have these cards that have a lot of ancient Egyptian like text, hieroglyphics. The character goes into his ancient Egyptian history, and there's a fascination in Japan toward just ancient Egypt. The Japanese government invests a lot. I think it's a reflection of how much they want more Egyptian history presented. So you see a lot of Japanese tourists, big groups, all there, so exploring the pyramids, exploring ancient Egypt. It's remarkable. So, but the thing is, the American market is missing, and the Egyptian locals feel it.